Hey, I'm Kev Mystical. Welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the manager career as we're almost at the end, the penultimate round of the season, round the Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia. And in free practice, MacDonald is starting how he wants to end this weekend by being at the top by over half a second ahead of Vinales, Marquez, Rossi, Dovi, Pedrosa, Quattro, Inoni, Zarco and Lorenzo making it through to qualifying 2, where maybe MacDonald went up at the top once again. So here we are with qualifying as MacDonald. That's 2 laps in the rain, the glorious rain. Of course, around Malaysia it's raining once again. Overnight, as you can see, the track has dried up a bit as it stopped raining for a bit. But let's see what MacDonald can do over these 2 laps. Boy, does he love the rain. We've got one last chance of it in Malaysia, where it seems to rain every season, I think, around here. At least in some form, in practice or qualifying or the race. Definitely did last season. And this is, of course, the conditions where MacDonald has been the king in any class. As almost loses the rear end. So I don't hold out much hope for the opposition. The other 9 riders, or 11 riders should I say, in qualifying 2. Of course, 9 riders who else comprise the top 10 in practice, but then of course in qualifying 1 you have the other 2 riders who came through. Where we see Jack Miller through again. And the likes of Petrucci or Redding. Alicia Spargo on that Aprilia. Is it starting to rain? Again, is it? It's almost like this is automated, isn't it? At the start of these sessions, like get halfway through the fast lap, then start pouring it down again. That's thankfully for MacDonald. He's getting again the best of the conditions as well. Something that again Marston might have to fix for the next game is this kind of automated rudder. It's very predictable. And of course it plays into your hands with the opposition being a bit weaker in the way which, you know, some might like, but no, I want to have a bit of a challenge. So there's MacDonald. That's why he's going off track and he's going to have to set a second lap here. In qualifying 2. That's a 58.6. That might be good enough for pole, but we can't be sure. Let's see, here come the other riders out now. Breaking very deep into the first couple of corners. Around 150 metres. Trail breaking into the corner as well. No, that's something that's... Oh! Not well developed for MacDonald. As he goes off. And so, he will not get that second lap. But look at that, he is still fast, despite making a mistake in the final corner. Almost 2 seconds ahead of Rossi and Marquez, with Vinales leading the second round of Dovi and Pedrosa. And you've got Quattro, Lorenzo and Inoni. And then it's Zarco, Petrucci and Folger joining his Tech 3 teammate on the 4th row. So can MacDonald once again fly high in Malaysia? As in the background, the rain dance has worked once again for Blue still as he's on pole. As he's looking at the remainder of the top 12. And fantastic conditions for MacDonald, not for his opposition. As you see Redding in the 5th row of Miller and Espargo there is Magnum down in 21st. But we have the race pace as Brady Smith on the special row.
The warm-up lap done with, the bikes and riders are lined up and ready to race here at the Sepang Circuit. The start of another Malaysian Grand Prix is just seconds away.
That's it, just like pouring it down. On race day in warm-up. And then when the lights appear and go out for this 5-lap race, the riders have some treacherous conditions. Small gets a decent start, and that may be race over already for his opponents. Now he's braking a bit cautiously into the first corner. He's getting swamped. Get forced slightly wide by Dovi. Now he's got Inoni in front of him. In Lorenzo. He's actually falling into the outside the top 10. Getting passed by the Premex, says he? No, he's ahead of Redding, but he's down to 11th after that first couple of corners. He's got Spargo down to 14th. Not 15th, should I say, passed by Zarco. Is that Baptista in the top 10? In 9th, as Marquez passes Rossi. As there goes. Oh, MacDonald passed Baptista. Round the outside, it is Baptista in 9th. Fantastic start from the Spaniard. You get past Volga now, MacDonald. He's got Iannone in front on the Suzuki. Yep. Oh no, it is Baptista in 9th ahead of Volga. Then goes MacDonald up into 7th ahead of Iannone. Now he's got the 2 Ducatis in front. Lorenzo, then Dovi. As you've got the 2 Hondas, all line astern in front, isn't it? 2 Hondas, 2 Yamahas, 2 Ducatis. Now MacDonald upsetting the natural order of things here in 5th. Being the lone wolf. As he's got, is that Vinales down off the podium in 4th. Then you've got Pedrosa. And of course you've got Marquez and Rossi coming to the infamous corner. You know, in 2015, Rossi kicked Marquez. And of course, the relationship hasn't recovered since. As you would expect after you kick someone on track on a motorbike. You know, sure they respect each other, but probably don't hang out at parties anymore. If they ever did. As he goes to MacDonald, looking around the outside of Marquez. Got the switch back. Now in the slipstream of Rossi. Is he going to lead to that? Not quite. It's not going to be a perfect weekend, is it? Leading every lap. It's again very cautious on the brakes as Marquez dives it down the inside of Rossi. Or MacDonald tries to have a look down the inside of Rossi. But no room there as Marquez leads. And MacDonald sliding into 2nd. Using Rossi to lean against there. No respect for the 9-time champ from the new MotoGP champ. He's once again looking around the outside. Rossi blocking him off. We've got Vinales behind. We've got past Pedrosa. And we're looking to the outside of Rossi as he got it. Probably should have dabbed the brakes a bit more for that corner, but still, around the outside is MacDonald. Just got one man to beat, and it is Marquez, who he actually battled with in free practice on his hot lap. Because for some reason on the man just wanted to stay in front. It was like he was in race mode already. So here goes MacDonald around the outside. No, Marquez cuts him off. You have to back off. Get a charge, maybe down the back straight. Oh, out of the right-handers. He does go wide though. But he holds on and MacDonald leads in Malaysia. Like we haven't heard that before. So half a second ahead of Marquez. Then we've got Rossi in 3rd. Those 4 Pedrosa in 5th. As you come to the end of the 2nd lap. And now it should just be a breeze. But Scott once again in these conditions you're so at home with. So used to, you know, being in Scotland as well. Being from that. As you go on to the 3rd lap. And he leads by exactly 2 seconds over Marquez. As MacDonald does the fastest at 2:02.3, no surprise there. Can maybe dip under the 2-minute mark, maybe. Now that he's got clean air, let's go for it. With MacDonald, got nothing to worry about, of course, championship ride, so you can just gun it like your hell. As Marquez still holding off Rossi on the pretty good round here. So is the Ducati, of course. And the Yamaha is pretty decent as well. So all big 3 are pretty good bikes around it. Suzuki seems handy in Iannone's hands. See if Rins has also scored a point. There's all taking lots of curb there. In the entrance. 4.8 seconds ahead of Marquez now. As I run halfway through this race. Guess in the second half of the race. I don't have to think of something to talk about. As MacDonald just eases away. Oh no, he's on the curb though. Shouldn't cost him too much though. as he had a comfortable lead over Marcus. That's what happens when MacDonald pushes. It does tend to crash. It used to be his weakness as well, as it cost him a couple of titles maybe. Last season, season before, even season 3 in Moto 3. And he wasn't that far off the championship lead in the end. You know, under 50 points, under 2 race wins behind. Especially his first season in Moto 2, that was so up and down. There is MacDonald, even with the full 59.3. Now let's see if he can get into the 58s maybe, or 57s. Goes a bit wide. And look at that, battling the bike. This is what we like to see. MacDonald fighting. Not just with the conditions or the opposition like we've seen, but with the bike as well. Which is actually going to be very tricky. As I was talking about, first season in Moto 2, you can have a more Jekyll-eyed season, won a number of races, but crushed out of even more races. We got better in that season 5 or season 6, should I say. And no doubt if the Silver Zone glitch didn't happen, I think MacDonald would have won that season. Would have won that championship. Unfortunately, never went to Malaysia. Took a season off from going there. Only had 3 Spanish rounds. They come towards the end of this penultimate lap. With only 1 race remaining in Valencia, can MacDonald and Elusive end on a high? And we'll see after this race if they have. With Moto 2 as well. Of course, they won the Moto 3 championship with the Swede, Chris Gustafsson. Got Alejandro Pelicar going for second, making it a 1-2 in Moto 3. And of course, we've got Portuguese rider in third in the championship. Maybe go for second. Bit too late in the season, maybe. But of course, Andrea leading that championship. There he is into 58s. Well, of course, Andrea leading that championship by not the safest of margins. Over Alex Marquez. Got Franco Morbidelli down in 4th. Our team is really mixing it up. Mark VS not ruling the roost. Using all the curb MacDonald. 24.9 per sector. Running a bit wide. To the right. It's a very tricky corner to get right. As you can break deeper into it than you think. The exit's actually a bit generous as well, a bit wide. So even if you carry too much speed and turn into the corner slightly wider, yeah, you can still carry most of it. Don't scrub too much. You're going to trail break into the corner. But yeah, in MotoGP as well, MacDonald winning. Want a flying Finn, not just to finish 5th. We want him second in championship, of course, but it's just not adapted to the Ducati like MacDonald has. This will be his second victory on the Ducati. Oh, we should have had another one in Phillip Island. Should I say third victory, isn't it? Of course, he wanted Motegi as well to win the championship. And that dramatic race against Vinales. Beautiful finish from MacDonald. It shows how much he's matured as well as a rider. The early crash coming through the field. Just timing it perfectly to grab the victory. As Jonas Folger on the Tech 3. He's down from 14th. Dan MacDonald was down, but he is definitely up by the end of the race. And another victory in Malaysia. Fitting way to say goodbye to this Asian circuit. As he won by 17.5 seconds ahead of Rossi with Vinales 4th, Dobby 5th. Droza 6th, Lorenzo 17, only 8th, Petrucci 9th, good finish. On the Pramac ahead of Crutcho, ready 11th. There's a flying Finn down in 12th. With Zarco down in 13th, never really recovered off that poor start. Oh, Baptista dropped down to 14th in the end, but still a good couple of points for the Spaniard. Elusive Spargo on the Aprilia rounding out the point scores by 1.7 seconds ahead of Tito Rabat. So close on that Mark VDS bike. And better than his teammate Jack Miller for once. Down in 21st is Sam Rose right at the back. So in the championship, MacDonald has a 74-point gap to Vinales behind. He's just 7 points ahead of Marquez, who's just 6 points ahead of Rossi, with the Flying Finn 100 points behind his teammate and 13 behind Rossi in fifth. He looks destined to round out the top 5 after holding second for so long. We've got Dovi in 6th, Pedrosa 7th, Quattro in 8th, Zarco 9th, Lorenzo 10th, Petrucci 11th, 12th, Freddy 13th, Spargo in 14th at the leash. In Folger in 15th, Baptista 16th, Jack Miller in 17th, Loris Baz 18th, Alex Rins 19th, Bradley Smith in 20th, the last of the point scores ahead of Hector Barr, but then Tito Rabat in 22nd, Paul Spargo down to 23rd, Carl Abraham in 24th, and Sam Lowe's getting the wooden spoon at the moment on his Aprilia. As the new constructors stand in Ducati lead, Yamaha by 15 points have virtually got one hand on their second Constructors' Championship, with Honda in 3rd, Suzuki 4th, Aprilia 5th, KTM in 6th, settled into those positions quite early in the season. And Elusive have won the team's rankings with 45 points remaining. They lead by 61 points ahead of the Yamaha MotoGP team, with Honda in 3rd, Ducati in 4th, and you got Pramac 15 points ahead of Tech 3 in 5th, and then you got LCR in 7th, Suzuki 8th, Aprilia 9th, and a good battle for the top 10 with Aspar 3 points ahead of Mark VDS, who are just 3 points ahead of Avintia, the factory KTM effort with a solitary point. As yes, we're getting close up. MacDonald after another victory in Malaysia, as it was all of the clones effort, as well as the Magic Man. As in MotoGP, yeah, MacDonald had a little slide through the turf, but he was dominant again in practice, in qualifying, and in the race. As the Flying Finn did make some decent progress through the field from 21st up to 12th, but not achieving the race objective. The only rider not to do that in the Elusive camp, as in Moto2, Andrea won from 32nd, and the Portuguese rider finished in 2nd after starting on pole. As in Moto3, it was a 1-3 once again, with the Swede on pole, and he's won again in his championship year, with Alejandro started 2nd and finished in 3rd. And only the Portuguese rider improved his braking, and there's some credit and reputation we earned. As we end the episode with an activity day, we can develop parts for the garage, in the garage for KTM, as let's look at the R&D and see bike development has come to a halt on the engine, I believe that is. Yes, the engine's now fully developed. You've got suspension, brakes and frame. We could do the suspension, but again, that's going to take 8 weeks, so nothing we can do for next season, of course, with this being Elusive's last season. But let's end with an activity day. We could do a TV program, get a reputation bonus based on your place in the next race, 100%. Social network, again, reputation bonus for the next race you achieve the sponsored objectives. Coach coordination, training, body position ability up by 20% for the next race. Or do go to the gym instead, get 100 XP boost. Let's do the 20%, shall we? And let's see the state of play of things in Moto2, heading to the final round of the season. Calix, KTM, Tech 3 Suter and Speed have all secure in the constructors, standing 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. And in the championship, Andrea has won ahead of Alex Marquez, 42 points ahead of the Spaniard, just 25 to play for. We have the Moto2, MotoGP and Moto3 championship. Elusive have achieved the triple crown in their final season. Brilliant for the team, with the Portuguese rider virtually secured of 3rd in the championship, 18 points ahead of Franco Morbidelli and 38 behind Alex Marquez. You've got Thomas Lutti round out the top 5 ahead of Olivier, who's just 4 points ahead of Matteo Passini. All to play for 6th and 8th as well. We've got Nakagami just a solitary point ahead of Marini. You got Quartararo rounding out the top 10 as we scroll further down. Only 17 riders are scored out of 34 in Moto2. So let's go back. Let's scroll back to MotoGP. Of course, those are the standings. And then in Moto3, there's the Swede, 95 points ahead of his teammate, who's 21 points ahead of 1 minute. It looks like we're going to get that elusive 1-2 in the championship that we also kind of wanted as well in Moto 3. So a 1-2, 1-3 and a 1-5. Can't say much better than that, with all riders in the top 5 in the championship, all winners as well. And it's like in Moto 3 as well, just 16 riders scored points out of 33. Again, that's less than half the riders scored points. It's very spread out. Look at John McPhee in the top 5 behind Canet and Mir. Just 15 points won the span. He's still got all to play for the wee McPhee. Heading to Valencia, has this a 10-point gap behind Virginia Italian and Jorge Martin for 7th. And then just outside the top 10, we got who will play for, with Rodrigo rounding out the top 10 ahead of Bulliger by 6 points. And then you got Antonelli 5 points ahead of Nuruddin, the home hero who just visited in Malaysia. And he's just 2 points ahead of Bastianini. So there's all to play for outside the top 10 or the fringes of the top 10 in Moto 3. But next time out, we'll be heading to the final race of Elusive's career, the final episode as well of Manager career, as we are going to go round the Ricardo Tomo circuit in Valencia, the 4th visit to the season to Spain. And it's not been the best circuit in the past for Elusive. It's been very up and down, decent in Moto 2, alright in Moto 3, not the best in MotoGP as well, actually decent in MotoGP. So it's actually been kinder to us in the past, now that I think of it, than I remember. But let's see if MacDonald and the fine thing can end on the high in Valencia, in MotoGP, in Moto2 for the Portuguese and Italian rider, and in Moto3 for the Swede and Argentine rider. Can it be 1-2s across the board? Find out next time. South watching. I'll see you then.